you read newspapers, there are so many articles for depression, stress. Then it begins with stress. After we get depressed, then after we can harm ourselves. Then this is Graham Martin. He is one researcher on stress, and he said that we are very bad at recognizing stress in and this is also our case. Then today we will explain, we will give first some statistics, and after we will try to solve the problem, and after we will also have some tests, symptoms. You can test yourself if you are stressed, yes or no, and you are free. You can take some decisions. Then this is Prabhupada. It is based on his teaching. Bhagavad-gita we have. Prabhupada, when he was 70 years old, he went to America. 70, when he was 70 years old. He has only 40 rupees in his pocket. And he went in 1965. And while going there, after he opened 108 temples in all over the world. He got 5,000 disciples in America. We have Maharaj, he is one of Prabhupada's disciples. He is from UK. And Prabhupada, he said, when he came to America, he said, yes, the British has come to India, but they forgot one thing. What did they forget? The scriptures. India is very famous for their holy scriptures. Then this is Prabhupada. Okay, next. Then, symptoms. According to scientists, they think that when there is some imbalance in the brain, then chemical imbalance. We have in our brain these neurotransmitters. Then when there is imbalance, it brings stress in the mind. And they also say not everyone. They say is due to heredity. Like they say if your father, your grandfather is stressed, then son also will become stressed. But also they say not everyone, if his father is stressed or grandfather is stressed, he will not develop this disorder of depression or stress. Here I wrote depression, but when you are stressed, this depression comes. Then also, if anyone takes drugs, like blood, sleeping drugs, any drugs, any medicine, this also can affect our mind. Like in the West, many people cannot sleep at night. They have so much stress. Then they take sleeping pills. Then this may affect also our system, our body. Then also, if our body is not very healthy, like heart disease, diabetes, cancer, then if also those who take alcohol, tobacco, drugs, this may create anxieties in the body. This is all related to the mind. If our mind, our body is healthy, then this can help. But if our body is not healthy, then this creates also stress in the mind. Yes. Then what is depression or stress? What is definition of depression? That means where the mind and body feel miserable. Like the distress of the mind is higher than the distress of the body. For example, if you get some injuries in your body, you can do something. You can put some. But the mind, if we have distress in the mind, then people don't know what to do. They just feel sad. They feel. Then this is definition of depression means one feel very sad. The mind, then the body, you don't want to work, you don't want to do anything. Then, yeah, this is scientific. It takes photos of the mind, the brain. What happened? This is depressed mind. And this is, you see, there is not so much work in the mind. It is like sleepy, it's like, and here you see light is there, communication is there, neurons are working very nicely, and this affects the mind, affects the body. Then, those who are into depression, there is a lack of vitality. They don't want to do anything, they don't want then lack of vitality where? In the mind, as in this photo is explained. Then this pre-mental disorder. Yeah. Then there are less activity in the brain, as it is shown in this photo. Yeah, that is very nice. These are statistics showing how people die. How? Then you see the first cause of death is self-harm. That means harming oneself. That means it starts with stress, then depression, then you ask the question, oh, why I am here? What is the goal of life? I'm just here. I have to wake up at 6 o'clock, just study, eat, then after, what is the goal of life? Better get Om Shanti. Then, that is the first cause, self-harm. Then others are there, see heart disease. Heart disease mostly is due to food, alcohol, cigarette, and so on. That our heart, meat, this is very known. Like our food, then third is injury, road accident. The numbers are given, you see that. I'm not going to the details. 1 lakh here, 1982. Then eggs, then like this, see. And here is alcohol use. And drugs. See, that means this problem is very important. It is first cause of death. Then more statistics are there. Friends, you see these are all, now there was one survey, I read this, I read this maybe 10 years ago. They tried to find which country is the most happy in the world. Which one was the most happy?
Bangladesh.
Yeah, Bangladesh. Hello? Bangladesh. It does not mean now that, oh, if I have the highest comfort, that means I will get. It doesn't mean nothing. This comfort is only for your body. But what about your mind? But people don't think about this. And you can see France, Paris, I am from Paris, Belgium, here. Paris is the most beautiful city in the world. You go there, very nice, little gardens, big. You cannot find any city, not like Taiwan or China or Hong Kong, just some big buildings. No, very beautiful, very nice street. And you see how much? 22%. Now, if we take, I know how much population of France is. Okay, we take 1 crore. 1 crore, that means how much more? I'm just giving some idea. 22%, how much is 1 crore? 20 lakhs, it's a lot. France, yes, Switzerland, New Zealand, and like this. This is the day. It's big problem in the world. It's a big problem. They have no solution There is no solution. They are trying to find no solution. We have the solution. Those who practice, we know what is the mind, because doctors, they only know the body. The psychiatrists, they have some knowledge about the mind, what, how to, but it's not deep. We will explain later how. Then you see, depression does not discriminate. The law of nature, like fire. If we take fire and child touch fire, then what happens? It will burn. Similarly, if we do some exercise, we don't take care of our mind, okay, our body, we are taking care of our body. We are taking shower once a day, twice. But there is also the shower of the mind. Now you don't take shower for 1 year, what will happen? You sink, huh? You will smell it. But similarly, people, they are not taking shower for the mind. No shower. That means what happened? That not 1 year, 20 years, 10 years, nothing, they are not taking care. Then there is big, like city, and many things are there, impressions are there, big, huge, and no cleaning is there. Then depression does not discriminate. You can see among students, this program in India, I have at least given it in 100 schools, 100 in India. Since 10 years, I was traveling in many schools, and when we would come to the principal in school, we said depressions. We said, yes, come. Because many students are making suicide, lot in India. Last year, 1 lakh of people has, and students, especially students. Why? Student has lot of pressure, parents pressure. Any question you can ask.
He said that PhD students have more success.
Okay, nice. Then you see 86%. In Taiwan also, you go on the internet, you can look in Taiwan. Lot of problems. You don't know. It starts from age of 13, 14, 15, very young age. See 86. Students overwhelming. 81, exhausted. 30, too depressed. 66, they think on with us. You will after give what is going in the mind, in your mind, when you start thinking, oh, I want to do it. The thing what is, and this will. Then here are the problems. Fear, aversion, what else? Emotions, trauma, so many things are there. These are all these problems are coming from where? From our mind. This depression, risk, traumatics. Next. Now we will give a little bit explain that. No, only once. Then when you feel depressed, what happens? You feel tired. Why? No enthusiasm is there. There is no. Then sleep too much. At night, when you sleep, feel angry, very quickly angry. Then feel very sad for no reason. Then you have your food is there. You have nice clothes. You have also money in your pocket. You have everything, but you feel sad, very sad. Then who feels sad? Who? It's coming from the mind and your body also. Then this constipation. You see, this is very important constipation. The most important part of the body is the stomach. Yeah, the stomach in yoga asana. Why yoga asana is made to take the toxin from the kidneys. You have two kidneys, right? Huh? Then, if now the mind is feeling miserable, automatically there is constipation in the stomach. Anxieties, you feel pain. But if the mind is quiet, then your body is also, stomach is very strong. Then sickness begin where? From the mind, anxieties of the mind. Then difficult to concentrate. Students, he was asking, oh Prabhu, he wants some tricks or some advice, give us some advice, how we can do nice research work. Then how can you have nice research work? How? Your concentration is good. It is said in yoga, there is dharan, then there is dhyan, and there is samadhi. Dharan means what? Dharan means you take your mind. It does not go there, not there. You know how much time it takes? Like 30 seconds. 30. You can take your mind. Then dhyan. Dhyan means 2 minutes. See, if your mind is fixed on something, does not go there, that means it is. Yeah. And samadhi is 20 minutes. It means your mind is fixed on. Then this concentration problem is all also due to the mind. Then also difficult to make decision. I don't know, should I go there? Should I do not have decision. And also this. Some people are very slow to do things. To do this, then because of this stress. Now we will check you. Okay, you raise your hand. When you say, I have. Okay, next. Okay, do you feel sad? Who feels sad? Do you feel sad? Don't get sick.
Don't get
now
stressed.
you see, I read this. The women are making less suicide than men. Why? Because women, when she has some problem, she will scream, The man, no, it's no. I am Purush. I have to hide it. No, you have to say, yes, do you feel sad? Do you feel sad? Yeah, I say sometimes, do you feel sad? No. Do you feel sad? Do you feel sad? Yes. Do you feel sad? Yes. Everyone, yes. Do you feel sad? It's not normal if you feel sad.
It's wrong.
Huh? It's wrong. You should not feel sad. Not. Ask Maharaj, do you feel sad? You will say no. Okay, this is more problem. Do you feel boring? Life is boring. Yes. He said, yes. Okay, if I take your life, yes. You said, oh, I don't feel sad. Okay. Now I will. You wake up at what time? Morning. 9. What time you eat?
Is it so?
At what time did you make your breakfast? Quick, huh? 9:30 lunch. Quick. 12 evening.
7, 8.
7. What time did you sleep?
1:12.
1:12. Okay. Next day. Same program. Next day.
Yes, but
Next day.
the routine changes.
Okay. But this is not boring.
No.
Okay.
It's not working.
Okay, it's not boring. But it is boring for some other people. You see, they did something. Eat, sleep. In France, they say, metro dodo boulot. Metro dodo boulot. Your life is just metro means you take metro, MRT. Then dodo means you sleep, and boulot means Then, like for some life is boring. Maybe you feel good. It's nice, huh? Okay, I feel alone. Do you feel alone?
Yeah, you are outside the country, so yeah.
See, it's hard when you are outside the country. I also was a student, huh? When I left the house, I went to my parents. I went to Belgium, I studied engineering, chemical stuff. I learned alone. No friends. And we don't know how to solve this. I feel alone. Next. Frustrated. I feel frustrated. Who? No frustration? Okay, PhD. Next. Hard to remember. Okay. These are this. See, now you are young, still you are strong, huh? But now if you take now, PhD is finished, then you go 20 years more. Huh? 20 years. Then this happen, huh? When you finish your PhD, you get your house, you get your wife, you get your car, you get your children. Then what is next? Huh? Okay, 7, 9, you wake up. Yeah, it is restless. Then I don't stay in one place, I just want to go. Then cannot concentrate. Then feel scared. My life has no direction. Who has this problem? Here, there. Okay, next. Feel tired. I smile. How are you? I'm okay. That's inside. I'm miserable. Yeah, some people don't want to show. How are you? Prabhupada gave one example, huh? That one day, one person was in the hospital. He has his leg, flattened his leg, here also, here. And someone came to him, he said, how are you? Today I feel better. Then next, I feel like empty. What is this man who makes me say that last week? He told me one in Taiwan, one artist. What is his name?
Yeah, the TV presenter, TV news presenter. He commented.
And
Very famous man.
very famous, lot of money, lot of this.
Yeah.
And TV, his photo is coming every day in TV. Famous. Then now we will ask question. What are the places? Yeah, we said the mind. Okay, next. The mind. Okay. The mind is Maharaj. You will speak a little about the mind. Maharaj, it will next. Go to the next. Yeah. We will explain that the mind is active, does not sleep. Next person. Then recorder also. And mind is like a child. History, come back, come back.
You want to say something about the mind?
Yeah. This is thought, desires, impression. Is like recorder. And
Okay.
also,
And in the Bhagavad Gita, we see Krishna speaking about the mind in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. He's talking about meditation, dhyana yoga, and he explains to Arjuna how important it is to control the mind. So the mind can be the friend, but it can also be the enemy. For one who has conquered the mind, then he's the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, then the mind is the greatest enemy. So the idea, we want to make a friend, right? The real friend is the controlled mind. But as you see, there were many the factors in the checklist. Are you feeling lonely? Are you feeling happy? All of these things. It's all coming from the mind. What is our mind? What's our mind conscious of? How are we controlling the mind? The mind is Krishna describes mind in the Bhagavad Gita. He's talking about this inferior energy. You may know Bhagavad Gita, some of you. You ever heard Bhagavad Gita? I wouldn't think so. Yeah, 9 o'clock. You wouldn't know the Bhagavad Gita. But Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Bhumera nalo vayu kamano buddha evacha ahankara iti yame bina prakriti ashtada. There are 8 elements of the inferior material energy: earth, water, fire, or ether. But then those are the gross elements, or 3 subtle: the mind, the intelligence, and the ego. We have a subtle body. You know, we give a lot of attention, we spend a lot of money on the gross body, we spend a lot of time to make the gross body good, to keep it fit and everything, but we don't give a lot of thought to the subtle body. The mind is part of the subtle body. And it's very important for us to have some awareness of our mental condition. You know, where are we at mentally? It's really important. So, from the mind, what's the function of the mind? Desire. What are we desiring? The different stages of desires. Imagine thoughts, desire, impression. Sometimes we say thinking, feeling, and willing. These are the 3 stages of desire. It begins with, we're thinking, thoughts, right? And then that thought, we dwell on that thought a while, and the thought increases. Feeling, you know, we become more attached to it, a stronger desire, and willing, have to do it. This is how the mind functions. But you may also know the example we give, the relationship between the mind, the intelligence, and the senses. Very simple example, the chariot. 5 horses, right? The senses. So the chariot has 5 horses, and the mind is the reins, right? The controlling instruments on the horse. And then the intelligence will be the driver, right? And the soul is the passenger on that chariot. And the chariot represents this body. So this is how the mind works. We have to be very careful to keep the mind controlled. And it takes some disciplining for us. We want to make friends with the mind. That's the idea. So in the beginning, the mind is not always our friend. And if we've allowed the mind to get out of control, then it can be difficult again to get it under control. It takes some efforts on our part. That is what we call maybe tapasya. You know, the austerity of trying to control the mind, making the mind a friend. The mind can be like an animal. It can be so stubborn, so difficult to control. If you have a wild animal, how do you control that animal? How do they control a lion? Starve it. They put it in the cage, they keep it in the cage, and they don't feed it. Right? And then after some time, then the man comes and he beats it. He gives the lion a good beating, and then he feeds it. So this is how we work with the mind. If you have trouble with your mind, we have to sometimes treat it like an animal. If you have this wild animal for a pet, you want to train it, you have to be a little strict. That's how you get the mind under control. The lion, when he's gone through that suffering, the starving, and then the beating, and then he gets fed, he starts to understand, this man, I got to do what he says. So like that, we have to talk to our mind. You know, this is actually the idea of yoga. Controlling the mind, disciplining the mind, not letting the mind just roam around and do what it wants. The mind is something, we all have a mind. We don't necessarily understand always how the mind is working. So Arjuna was talking, Krishna was telling him about this yoga. And Arjuna said, I can't do it. He said, I can't do this yoga, it's too difficult. You may be thinking like that too. I'm not going to go through all that. It's too difficult. I want to be happy, be comfortable. Krishna was telling Arjuna to do this yoga. Arjuna said, my mind is like the wind. It's restless, turbulent, obstinate, more difficult to control than the wind. Now, a lot of wind here out here in the winter time. It's a good wind, you know, you can't control the wind. It's more difficult to control the mind. So this is the problem. But Krishna, what does Krishna say in reply? He said, abhyas. Abhyas. You have to practice. By practice and vairagya.
Dispassion. Dispassion.
Dispassion.
Practice and dispassion.
Dispassion. Active.
Dispassion. Dispassion.
Dispassion. Okay. Now, I'm just quoting Bhagavad-Gita. This is, I don't know where do you quote it? What's your, where do you get it from? Whose words are you speaking? I'm speaking what Krishna says, okay? We're working on Krishna. Yeah, there are many of these. Okay, go ahead.
Then, to Maharaj, when Maharaj he said that the mind can be our friend or our enemy, and he also said that the mind is very difficult to control. Then Arjuna, he could not control. He said, how can I control? Then Krishna he said, abhyasena tu. By practice, you can control the mind. Then he said that, see, the mind is always active. That is big problem. Big problem is also good. Like when you sleep, what happens when you sleep? Yeah. Your body is sleeping,
Your body, mind.
but the mind, no. Mind does not sleep at all. Your mind is working 24 hours. When you sleep, then what happens when we sleep? Whatever we have done during the day, it starts playing. It is like something, how do I say, the cow? You the cow? Cow, they eat during the day, huh? They eat, not they eat. And after they start, what do? Chewing, yeah. Dreaming, we say, huh? Then similarly, the mind, whatever we do during the day, we at night, it is gain. Then what? If now we engage the mind in something positively. Example, like doing spirituality, if you are spiritual. We are not asking you now to become spiritual the whole day, no. Arjuna also, he wanted Bhagavad-Gita to go. He said, no, I just want to go to Krishna said, no, you stay. You do your duty and you think about me. And similarly, if you do this, then you, at night, whatever you have done spiritually, this will come. Then, yeah, the mind is as a recorder. Here is, we said, thoughts, desires, and impressions are there. Maharaj said, feeling, willing, and thinking. Then similarly, it's like we have blank paper, and whatever you write down, it is there. Similarly, whatever we see during the day, whatever we hear, it is recorded. And at night, take play and start doing that. Yeah, Maharaj, you said, mind is like child. Mind is like child. Child, like child. Then, a child, you have to advise him, help him. Then similarly, the mind is like this. Then we should watch what kind of thoughts are going in our mind. And the mind can kill oneself. How? How the mind can kill? Just how the mind can kill. What's your name? Huh? Krishna, whatever you want. Krishna. Krishna. How the mind can kill you? How?
By having negative thoughts, it can lead to depression.
Yeah, you see? And what you say?
Suicide.
Is it good? Okay. Then the thought. We said this one, we are just going on more. Push. Yeah, I feel sad. Okay, bored. I think I did a mistake, I put it twice here. Restless, sad, yeah. Because I changed it, I asked for you. Yeah, this is the mind can kill you. Push on. How? This we said not at all, just little, moderately, quite a lot, very much. See, now this thought may come in your mind. Life has no meaning. It may not come in your mind, like he said, Krishna said, huh? He said, okay, I don't feel bored. Not at all. It's good. But some just little, then it will increase this. Huh? As when you're more with time going on, it will become very much. Huh? Then I feel like caught. See, it's like we are in some system is there, you want to go out, it's very difficult to go out. Yeah, tiring. Then, yeah, this is very important. You don't feel any, you find that life has no meaning. You don't feel, oh, I am happy, I'm not happy. You just become neutral. That means depression is coming. Okay? This one is very important. I spent time thinking about how I can kill myself. No one is doing this, no? Huh? Yeah, but this may come, huh? Yeah, the thought may come. Why in France, 22% of the French people, they are in this case? Why? Huh?
Bangalore is the #1 suicide city in India.
Which one?
Bangalore.
Bangalore.
Very high.
Can you give us some, Maharaj, some numbers?
Oh, how many? There were something like over 3,000 people committed suicide in 1 year. 1 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't think this will never happen to me. Yeah. You don't, oh, I am okay. You say, oh, I smile. Don't think, oh, no, it's like if you don't take bath for 1 year, what happened? Similarly, you don't take care of your mind. This is important. We will discuss now, we will discuss our body. What is in our body? Then first, this is the suicide solution. Then we have 3 bodies, 3 in our, beyond this body, this called material body. We have the subtle body, and we have the soul. Maharaj has been discussed, Bhunarapurnaravayukam Buddhir Manu Ivacha Ahankara Mudha. No, not Ahankara. This Bhunarapu Manu Vayu Kham Manu Buddhir Ivacha
Ahankara iti yome.
Ahankara is a Bhina Prakriya. He said that, okay, we have this material body here. This material body is made with 5 elements. Huh? Bhumi, Apu, Nalu, Vayu, and Kham. That means fire, earth, water, air, fire, and ether. This is our material body. But inside there is subtle body is there. Now, if now you make suicide of someone, not you, someone makes suicide, then what happened? It just killed this material body. But still these 2 bodies are there. Subtle body is there. It's not now you're thinking when this material body died, the thinking stay there. The mind is thinking, feeling, and intelligence is there. And first ego is there. This is one called subtle body is there. Which example can we give? Last time you were there. Which example?
Coconut.
Huh?
Coconut.
Coconut? Not this one. Coconut is with yes, coconut. Coconut is? Yeah. It's not the one. Yeah, this is coconut. Okay, take coconut. But this is different. Which example? Another one I had given. You remember? If I said verse, you guys. 15:8. Chapter 15, verse number 8. Very nice example this to understand that we have divine. The air, if we have no air, see? We have air. If we have some bad smell, then what happened? This air carries bad smell, huh? If you have now some good smell, what happened? The air carries the good smell. But does the air get contaminated? Yes or no? No, the air is pure. Huh? You agree, Krishna? Nice name. Then, the air in these three bodies. Which one is the air? Which one is the very good smell? What's your name, man? Huh? Divya. Which one is affected? The first one? No, what is the air? The first one.
The first, something happened to the first one, will get affected.
The first, what do you mean? This gross body.
Yeah.
Okay, you have any other answer?
The soul
This-
it is
What is the air? What is the bad smell? And where is?
the soul is the air.
Yes. Very good. The soul is the air. See, the air is not affected. The soul is also not affected. The soul is pure. So, but who is creating problem? Who? The subtle body. See? The subtle body, that means the bad smell and good smell, it comes from where? From your mind. And here, this gross body means the senses are there. The senses, you see, you watch something, then it enters good or bad, it goes here. Huh? Or you hear something, or you eat something. Huh? These five senses, then this is very nice example of the air. The air is not affected at all, like the soul. The subtle body is like good smell and bad smell, and the gross body is affected. Yeah, here it is written: earth, water, air, fire, ether, sun, ego, mind, false ego, and intelligence. Then the soul, it is Sat, Chit, Anand. See, now your soul is Sat. What means Sat?
The truth.
Eternal. And Chit means knowledgeable. And Ananda, you are full of Ananda. But because you are neglecting your soul, the whole problem is there. You neglect the soul. If now your gross body he starts practicing spiritual life, then what happens? Your subtle body will smell good. Huh? Then the soul is pure, then the soul manifests. We can give an example. We have diamond. See diamond? And diamond, there is a lot of dirt around the diamond. Huh? Then what happens? Light is coming from the diamond? No. And similarly, it is our position now. See, very important. You think now, if I become PhD, oh, my problem is finished. But not your problem is not finished. Either you are king or either you are dog, problem is there. Huh? King has more problems than dog. Yes or no? King. I give this example. You remember king, what he has to do? King, sometimes his wife, she give him some poison like scissor. You know? He gets killed by his wife. King has to hide. He's afraid someone, he has before eating, someone has to taste food. He has to hide. He cannot go. then it's not now if you become PhD, oh, my problem is finished. Or if I become king, my problem, no. How you can solve your problem is taking care of your subtle body. Or you can say the soul. The soul is pure, but subtle body creates problem. And the gross body also creates problem. These two bodies are creating problem. Then when you make suicide, this body gets finished, but these two are there. Then what happened to us? Is it now, if we make suicide, life is finished? No. What happened? Okay. What's your name? Huh? Nukut. Please, tell us what happened. Nukut. I will come to you. Nukut, what happened?
So we take another body.
We take another body. According to Islam, no, when you make suicide, you don't take another body.
In the story it is written we go to heaven or we go to hell.
No, I was asking about suicide. When someone makes suicide, he's not given material body because he refused. It's like now I give you some position, or you misuse some position. Then he stays, one stays in the form of ghost. Yeah, for many years, 10,000 years, 20,000 years without body. You can eat ice cream. Yeah, to eat ice cream you need this body.
Pizza.
Pizza. Rasgulla. You can have to. Okay, the mind like child. This is coming, we'll get into it. Yeah, the mind is said like child. Then how to control the mind? You need good intelligence. Now, if you don't have intelligence, what do you have to do? What's your name? Abhijit.
Abhishek.
Huh? Abhishek. Abhishek.
We have to borrow from others.
Huh?
We have to borrow from others.
Yeah, I really can't do that. You have to borrow your intelligence. That's why you need what? You need guru. Yeah. Huh? Don't think that guru, oh, I just get guru, Asharam Babu. I put his photo, big photo, and my brother is finished. Yeah, he do like this, you know. Oh, you have one dog. Oh, dog I have. Car I have. House I have. Guru I have. Guru means someone who borrow intelligence from him. You have problem? Oh, you ask someone who is more intelligent. Then, like, now people, they say, just do it. Yes or no, Krishna? Just do it. They don't ask anyone, just do it. Then after they are problem, that's the whole world is going wrong. Everyone is following his mind. Then the mind is what? Next. Yeah, next. This is explaining with intelligence. Yeah, because the mind, it comes with senses. You have senses. Like child. See, child, he see fire, he touch. Just do it. Then what happened? He got burned. But the father said, hey, don't touch. Then he doesn't. Then this power, discrimination is given to the intelligence. You want Maharaj to explain intelligence, or you have spoken about it? Huh? It's Maharaj spoke about intelligence. Then intelligence, we can give nice example. We take knife. We have one knife. And we put knife here for 10 years. We don't touch it. What happened? Rusted. And when you take an apple you want to cut, will it cut? And similarly, your intelligence has to be sharpened. But you are not doing this. You are only taking care of a hungry stomach, they call. Problem of hungry stomach. PhD, why? To get money. Money, what do you want to get from money? Get house, get this. But what got you? Even mathematics. I was good in mathematics, you know. But my brother is PhD in mathematics. I went to his house. He has many books all in mathematics. I said, well, nothing but philosophy. Yeah, the intelligence needs some philosophy. Then if you don't do this, then what happens? Your intelligence becomes rusted. Then, Shramai Vahi, Kevalam, everything you get into problem because they are not having intelligence. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I disagree.
Huh?
Prabhupada tells a story when he's saying, one man asked the other man, are you intelligent? He said, just a minute, look in my pocket. And he said, why do you want to look in your pocket? You know, if you're intelligent. He said, well, if I'm intelligent, I have some money there. But you're saying, you know, why are you worrying about money? But intelligent people, Prabhupada said, you'll have money. They're not intelligent, you won't have any money. So
That doesn't mean we are not against money. Money is good. Now, if you have money in your pocket, you may go to this direction or to that direction. Which is this direction? Left. You may go to bar, just drink. But money can be used also in Krishna service. Where nothing is negative, you know. I'm not saying your money is also good. Lakshmi Narayana. You see? Lakshmi Narayana. Lakshmi is used for Narayana. Lakshmi says simply Narayana. Yes, sir. Then you need good intelligence. This intelligence, you can get it from Bhagavad Gita. Okay? Bhagavad Gita. 5 topics are there. Then, I don't enter into this. Then you need some spiritual books. Explain to you about you, who you are, where you go from, why you are here, why books are there. Yeah, intelligence. Yes, you see? Maharaj said this, it will come. The chariot, the body, the chariot of the body, he explained that the body, there is the horses, come, bring this chariot, then it will come. Here is the chariot. We explained what 5 senses are there. These are our 5 orders. Then, this, what is this?
rain.
Rain, what is the rain? The mind. See, the mind can say, go there, or go there. Then the driver, intelligence. Then those are sitting, so come back. Then, here, then, suppose now you are having good Mercedes, and you are going 130 kilometers in the highway, and you sleep, what happens? Nice example, huh? Go next example. Then, you can read what happened. Disaster. Then similarly, this is our problem. The mind is like child, but intelligence is higher than the mind. Then we don't have intelligence, then disaster is there. Even you may say Krishna, you may say I am okay now. Okay, suppose now you live for 80 years. What is your age now? 27, 30, say 30, 80, 50 years are there. You see how much impression will come with your mind? Karma, impression. You cannot say, oh, I have no problem. No, problem is there, big problem is there. This Maharaj explained this. Next. Yeah. Now, this is a little bit, we will go to happened? Into the depression. Why depression comes? Why? Then this very nice, oh, you don't have this fun. I didn't do it. There is one special fun. In aprakasha, pravritisha, brahmado moha evasa, tamashita rizayanti, vivriddhi guru nandam. This is very nice verse from Bhagavad Gita. It is said aprakash, pravritisha. Prakash, it doesn't mean prakash. Light, and aprakash, when there is no light, then pravriti, what happens? Brahman. You know, Brahman. What means man? Mad. Pra means more. Moha. Illusion. Tamasi itani jayanti. Then ignorance increase. Then see, when ignorance increase, then these three things happen. This inertia, madness, and illusion manifest. Then this is the case of those people who are depressed. We have different people. Some people are into the mode of goodness. They are very, like, they are very clean, their food is clean, they also read. Some people are like this, Like?
Example.
Who's example? See, it's good, you know him. He is like this, he's into goodness, he like to read, he like to maybe blood. Are you chanting now, Hare-Krishna?
Yeah.
How many around?
Not every day, but in the morning.
In the morning, you see, he's taking care of his mind. Like you see, good leader. Good. You see, there are leader is what someone has vision, who want to go higher. He has to take care of his mind. Then what he does, he sit down morning before going out. Because once you go out, what happens? Problems will come. Very problems. You go to the office, you are good manager, leader. Then if your mind is not good, you cannot solve the problem. Then you sit for half an hour. Hare-Krishna, Hare-Krishna. It's easy. But just asking you sit on Padmasana or this or that. You put your eyes, your nose here or I don't know. Just chant Hare-Krishna and then you get out from this ignorance. Then food. Then this is depression comes, when one comes, too much in contact with Tamaguna. Then what happened? There we have our consciousness is there. We explained this last time in class now, that there is work is there, the work, the three gunas are there. Can you explain this, Maharaj? We explained last time. Work, three gunas, consciousness.
Yeah, well, there are different levels of working. We could say, if you're working in the mode of passion, which is more prominent generally, very active, a lot of desires, but it's not as good as working in the mode of goodness. Working in the mode of goodness, where we're more sense-controlled and more organized, then that is preferred. Because working in the mode of passion, the nature of the mode of passion, Rajagun, brings distress. And the nature of the mode of goodness comes to happiness. We experience more illumination, knowledge, and happiness. So working in the mode of goodness is certainly preferred to working in the mode of passion. Of course, there's also, by nature, we're in this planet, this earth planet, and the nature of this civilization is orientated around the mode of passion. But we don't usually just stay in the mode of passion. We either elevate or degrade. And most of the world is, falls into the mode of ignorance, Hamagun. Particularly like the weekend, you can see Taipei, what's going to be on the weekend, what do people do, what are the activities, the level of consciousness. The mode of ignorance. The mode of ignorance is simply darkness. But we can elevate ourselves to the mode of goodness and experience more knowledge and more happiness. And coming from the Muriguna, that's still karma, but we can go still further. We can come higher than karma is jnana. Now you're all jnanis, you're all educated people, and we can cultivate that knowledge more in relation to our work. It's not only just work alone, but the combination of knowledge and work brings us to a still higher platform, jnana. There's a yoga ladder. You can see if you study Bhagavad Gita, at the bottom you have karma, and it comes to jnana. Generally just working. Many people work. They don't know why they're working. There's no knowledge. But when you have the proper knowledge and why you're working, then you can do better. You can understand more what's going on. You go in a factory, there may be people working in microchip factory. They have these microchip factories everywhere. So they're working with all this technology. They don't know anything. They don't really know anything what they're doing. They just do what they're told. But when they have some understanding about it, then they can do the work even better because they have that knowledge behind the activities. So this is the idea that jnana is better than just simply knowledge and simply working alone. But when we work with the proper knowledge, then we will work even better. And that's what brings us to bhakti. That's like the ladder, from karma to jnana, and then coming to bhakti, or devotion. And devotion should include knowledge and activities. And that's the idea.
Yeah, thank you, Maharaj. Then, what Maharaj said, then war can affect our consciousness also. War. It may be goodness, maybe passion, maybe. Then our consciousness, we take an example. We take tree. Why tree is like this? Why? Why the tree is moving? A tree, is it living entity, yes or no? Yes. But why he has now stuck like this? Why?
Because its roots are at the ground.
Huh? It's on the ground.
The roots are
Big roots. But why is like this in the ground? Why snake? Snake is moving like that. Yes. Then you see there are different living entities are there. There are 6 in total. Some cannot move at all. Why? Because of consciousness. In the past, they misuse their consciousness, misusing it, and it become and it move. And we can see in India here, I saw some people like this. Just the people are big like man, you have seen? Some people they very slow and sick and this. And this is because of conditioning. This explains consciousness can be degraded. You see, we are here, Maharaj explained different levels, we can be here and that. And this is, the mind becomes rude. And ignorance, depression, manifests. Any questions? And here is a summary of what I said. See, some people are helpless. Some people lament loss. Some people they lament. That's it. Some people are happy. Why? They are in goodness. And some people are in passion, very active. Sometimes happy, sometimes not happy, like this. Then these 3 gunas, they affect our see. Any question? Yes.
One question from the last slide that Guruji told that about attaining the jnana, because everybody is in the different stages of knowledge. So how can we when we work? So if we have knowledge plus means the jnana, then we can work more efficiently. So my question is that how to go for that higher level jnana?
Higher level. Maharaj, I can't.
How to go to the higher level?
His question is, Okay, someone is in this level.
Because my question is that everyone is on different levels of their knowledge. We are increasing. But how to go on that level, that the level of jnana, so that we can do our own work very efficiently?
Well, by cultivating knowledge, by hearing from the right sources. If you get knowledge, how did you get your education? You heard. You went to college, you heard from qualified persons. So the same is true with spiritual knowledge. You have to hear.
It's clear, very clear. You have to go to school. If you want to become engineer, if you want to become doctor, you have to go. Yes, huh? Similarly, by associating with those people who have gone through these difficulties, who have experienced this, they can help. And you have knowledge. It's not is this spiritual life, is practical knowledge. It's called self-realization. Someone who has realized it, you know, he has God and he can advise nicely. Yeah, action. Action, we are explaining Agyana Tamasaha Phalam. Is from Gita. Agyana Tamasaha Phalam. Any action in ignorance, what is the phalam? What is the phalam? What is the result? The result is ignorance. See, the performer is without knowledge in his activity. Any activities you do, and you don't have the perfect knowledge, what is the result? It's written there. Let's read it. What is the result? Misery. Okay. Misery. Then you see, this is actually in ignorance. You can see that chicken has no soul. Huh? Chicken has soul. What means the soul? Soul means anything that grows, that show growth, soul is there. If you take the table, is it growing? No. Soul is not. If you take chicken, is it small? Does it grow? Soul is there. If you take tree is growing. Soul. Then you should be careful. Tree. In passion, Rajasulu Varivasa. Then, what happened? We are not against desires. No one can live without desires. Huh? But if we have too much material desires, it may create also problems for us. Huh? Then, we should which example can we give about material desire? We have to practically do it. I don't see it like material desires and create problem for us. Huh?
Like putting ghee into the fire.
Putting ghee into the fire. What happened there?
Fire will burn more.
Ah, yes. Very nice example. Like, say you have fire is there, and you want to extinguish the fire, then you put more ghee inside, then it will come. Please. You will not enter into this desire.
Probably I have a question.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have passion.
Passion?
We shouldn't have passion.
No, you see, if you study the word passion, today, because English is changing, the English. If you take now this word English passion 200, 300, 400 years ago, it is what I am saying here. But now in the English word passion is very good word. Oh, we should get some passion and we need some. Like this passion, no one can live without passion, how we say in the English today.
But people, I think that from passion only we can get the motivation. For example, we don't have research, we do our research work. We cannot cultivate a passion. Then how we can motivate ourselves? So passion is so.
That means money now I am just like stone now. Huh? I am standing. No, this is different. This what you are doing is good. You are doing research. You are working. It's very nice field. That doesn't mean that you have to stop. Huh? Arjuna also he wanted to stop this. He said to Krishna, no, I want to build forests. Huh? Just want to do Krishna, no, you are Kshatriya. You are warrior, you should do your duty. And similarly, you are, and this, you have to do it not with passion, with determination. See? Determination, you are determined. That passion means what? Passion means, you want to die, do it. Or next day, no, I don't feel like doing it. See, passion will change. But today, the English word of passion is different, as I said. Passion, but we say determination. You have determined what I have to do. It's almost finished, huh? Then I feel alone. No, frustration. Frustration, you see, no connection. Nice example. I'll give you a nice, very nice example. You have food. Huh? Now, if the hand say the food should be given to the hand, what happened? Huh?
No use.
Yeah, no use. You become weak. Yes or no? Yeah. And similarly, those who are frustrated, they are giving food to the wrong place. But food, if it is given to the stomach, what happens? You get strength, you get what else? Energy, strength, you get happiness, and then you get satisfaction. What is opposed to frustration is satisfaction. Then when we do some work or we engage in some project, big project, we should think. Or is I am giving to the stomach? Another example we can give. The tree. Giving water to the roots. Then what happened? The tree is green. But now you say, no, I will give water to the leaves. What is that? See, this Bhagavata from Gita. Then this food should be. And who is the stomach? Huh? The root. Who is the root? The mind. The mind. The mind. Mind. Who is the root? Abhishek.
The source of energy.
Source of energy. Krishna. And what is your name?
Sri Ram.
Shri Ram. No, I was thinking. Ram is missing. I really want to show. Someone his name is Ram here, and we have Shri Ram. Okay, Shri Ram. Hari is missing. Hari. Shri Ram. In Maharashtra, there is one mantra. Jai Jai Ram. Krishna Hari. Okay, Shri Ram. Who is the root? Who?
I think it's the subtle mind need to be trained in the right way. That
The subtle mind is the root. Oh, no. Okay, let us take now the example of the tree. You said many leaves are there. Many, like many living entities are there, you know. 1, 2, 3. But who is root? Connection who? Huh? But what is this stem? The root. What means the root? Who is the origin? Where we are coming from? Our origin where?
so
That means Krishna. Yeah. You cannot live without Krishna. You cannot live without Rama. See? Because So they are connected. And next is what sloka is coming. Oh, this is Maharaj, he said this. Okay, this we have to solve. One next verse is coming. Okay, it's not there, just stop there. Yeah, the root is God. You cannot now, okay, we'll take logic now. Huh? If now there was no God, you would feel no frustration, no? But frustration means when there is no connection. See, like the light is connected to the powerhouse. But if there is no light, that means there is no connection, there will be no light. Similarly, we are connected to okay, this way. Then now about food. There are, we speak about these three gunas. There are food in tamas, food in rajas, and food are in goodness. Then you see here, what is this? Food in ignorance. Then just by eating, you see food in passion, you get three problems at all. One is distress. If you eat some food which is not, it is a Rajaguna, it gives you distress. It gives you also disease. Do you agree or no? Some food can give disease? Yeah. Then it gives you also misery. Just food. Just this is very simple. Okay, next. We are not entering the food. Yeah, this is okay. This we have wrote it before. This we have some statistic. We have spoken about this. Then, no, we go next. Yeah, you see there are food in goodness. You get 6 benefits just by eating. 6. Increase the duration of your life. We can next. Purify your existence. See? Third, give strength. Fourth, health. Fifth, happiness. And satisfaction. See? Food is very important. If you eat tamasic food and rajasic food, you get 3. One is, remember 3? One is distress. Second, disease. Third, misery. That's just by being into goodness, it is very automatically. He was answering me, Prabhu, how can I get good concentration for our study? This is the basic. If there is one proverb, how tell me what you did or
You are what you eat.
You are what you eat. See, food has to be good. Then mind you have to take care. Then body you have to keep clean. Then intelligence. We have 4 packages in our body. One is the body. Second is mind. Third is intelligence. And fourth is the soul. Then if you want to take care of your soul, you have to take care of these 3. Intelligence, you should read some sacred scriptures, some mantras. Mantra, what means mantra? Man means mantra, means we should liberate the mind from anxiety. Then we should take care of our mind. We are doing Hare-Krishna. Then you take care of your body. We do eat food in the day, and do also some exercise, and so on. Then, Gita Shastra Inam Punyam. This power presentation is for India. Gita Iyam Pratit Prayatam Puman. You see? Gitam Shastram Idam Punyam. Now, those who have, we can say, anxieties or depression, or, that means they have less punya. Punya. Then you read Gita Shastra, by reading few slokas from Gita, you make punya, pious activity. See, when our pious activity increase, even then money does not come. Like you take rickshawala, or he's not working so hard, and he's not beating. But you take Agarwal. Agarwal is on the phone. He's just sitting and eating a nice halwa, kaju, and this. He's just saying, and 3, 4, 1 crore is coming. Wow. Gita, Shastra, and you go to Agarwal and say, give some donation for the temple. Yes, sir, take. He's ready to sponsor prasad and do this and do some seva and he gets more rich because he's engaging. Yes, sir. He's engaging his energy. Money is energy. We are not, I said to Maharaj, that money is not bad. Money is good. Very good. Yeah, this is the bad. You like this, huh? Yeah, we are not, like you take many devotees, they were very rich. Ambarish Maharaj, he was king, huh? Very popular. Now, we said there are, you remember this, we said the root. There are 2 souls out there. See? There are 2 birds in our, this is sloka from the Ishopanishad book. Mukunda Ishopanishad, that there are 2 souls out there. There is Paramatma is there, and we are there. Then those who feel alone, they don't connect with Paramatma inside. How can you connect with Paramatma? By praying, by reading, by taking care of them. Next, and we finish. Yeah, next. This is the truth. Happiness manifests when one, okay, because of past we can see then one has to suffer some distress. Past then activity. One has to, then this is our problem, that the aim of this life is to take care of our soul. Yeah, need education. Then that is very important. He was asking me, how can we study, then we should do both. We should do our study, and we should associate with those who have this knowledge. Because when we are living, there are many problems will come. Then if we discuss with someone who is spiritual, he can help us. Oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Then by doing this, then education is very important. Like now you are going into education, yes or no? But similarly, there is spiritual education. Maharaj, you want to add something?
Well, education. There's vidya and avidya.
Yeah.
2 paths. Education. Culture of Vidya. In the Upanishad, which is one of the most important of the Upanishads, it mentions we should cultivate both vidya and avidya. We shouldn't neglect. There should be a balance there. Just like material and spiritual life, there has to be a balance. You can't simply go totally on the spiritual and not worry about the material. We have to balance. So education also, people put all the emphasis on culturing avidya, the knowledge of the matter, material world, material energy, and they have totally neglected the vidya culture of the spiritual aspects of life. So it's important that you have the right balance. So how to cultivate that spiritual knowledge? You have to hear, you have to associate with people who practice spiritual life. You have to regularly hear. You can do it on your own on the internet. There's so many things, so many opportunities that are available. It's not difficult. If you know something is important, you do it. Just like, eating, sleeping, it's important, these kind of things. So spiritual education is also. Don't wait. Some people say, I'll do it when I'm old, I'm young now, You wait till you, just like could you take up physics when you're old? Do you think an old man can study physics? Impossible. You have, and yet from the beginning of life, you have to do it. Prahlad Maharaj says, Komar Acharet Pragno Dharmam. From the age of 5, from the stage of Kumar, that's when we should begin spiritual education. And the value of that spiritual education is you become much more stronger in your mental control. You can work much more efficiently, much more effectively. You have to understand what this Bhagavad Gita, what this kind of education is, how it's going to benefit you. That you're going to be much more effective in doing things, you'll be much quicker in picking up things, grasping things, your mind will be much more clear. We're only using a fraction of what we're actually capable of doing with our minds.
Einstein said this also. Einstein, he said we are using only one fraction of our intelligence.
So this is it's something you can't afford to neglect. If you do neglect it, then at the end of life, then you regret that I really shouldn't have wasted that opportunity.
So, Prabhu, when we say avidya, so what comes under avidya?
Well, all aspects of material knowledge. We mentioned what are the elements of material nature. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and evil. So all the interactions of these things. This whole institute is working with avidya. It's center of avidya. A master of avidya.
Any other question? This ends here, If you have any other question, now we can interact. If you have questions, anything in your mind, in your doubt, yes. You will, sometime I answer, another time I will answer.
Okay, I want to know, so we know about 3 gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tama gunas.
Yeah.
So, are these gunas only present in the kind of food we eat or everything?
Yeah. No, these gunas are present in everything. In the 17th chapter, the Bhagavad Gita, it is explained in knowledge has also gunas. Like knowledge in goodness. What is knowledge in goodness? Knowledge in goodness means we see that the soul is in every living entity. That is in goodness. In ignorance, we discriminate. We say, oh, he's Chinese, I don't know, he's African, we sometimes do this. Huh? Then charity also is there in goodness, in ignorance, in passion. Charity is in ignorance means you don't offer prasad to people. You don't recite mantras. That means you want to get benefit. Charity means if you do charity, it comes to you bigger. Then you do some charity, but there is no prasad there. Then people get much benefited. Charity, when someone eats prasad, automatically he gets benefit, lot of benefit. Then when someone hears mantras, he gets benefit. His subtle body gets benefited. Then there is also austerity in ignorance, passion, in goodness. Austerity in ignorance means you fast for 2-3 days. Your body gets like this. Understanding also in goodness, ignorance, karma. Then what else? Action. We say now action. Kamasaha paramati phalam. Action. You do some action. Then speech also. You may speak to someone and he His gunas are very difficult to get out. Very tough. His three gunas, the shaklas, then process is given. It is gradual process. We have first by food. Then only by chanting, they do this, every day, we get free from the gunas, it takes time. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yes. I want to ask, like, killing and eating animals is good or bad?
Yeah. Well,
Generally, violence is not encouraged. Ahimsa is one of the qualities of person in knowledge. We want to cultivate the higher qualities. So non-violence is certainly encouraged. Killing is sometimes done. Sometimes violence is necessary. Sometimes violence is used. For example, if you have a murderer, then the state may hang him. Sometimes there's unrest in the country, and the government will send the military in to bring things back to law and order. So there is proper use of violence. But simply killing animals, innocent creatures, for the satisfaction of our own tongue is certainly not encouraged, and it's not necessary. So if we fill our stomachs with animal flesh, then our body becomes like a graveyard. It's not good in terms of activity. Well, we could say the proper diet for the human civilization is vegetarian. When you look at the anatomy of the human body, you know, the design of the body is actually made for a vegetarian diet. The teeth are made to grind. They're not made to just simply swallow, tear and swallow like the teeth of a dog or a tiger. Our teeth are molar. They're for grinding grains, chewing. The acids in the stomach are lower. They're not capable of digesting the meat. That is why you find a lot of meat eaters. They will also take alcohol because it helps their digestion. And then also the design of the intestinal, the abdominal muscles there, the abdominal canal, the tube which the food passes through. In the human body, it's long and very elaborate. But in the meat-eating animals, their intestines are very short. They very quickly evaporate meat. So, in any health institute, they will certainly encourage you that the vegetarian diet is better. And killing animals also brings reactions into the society by the law of karma. The action. What is it in Hindi? Jaisa karega, aisa bhai. Every culture they have that. Even in Chinese culture they have that saying. You will see shan yo shan bao, yo bao. You do good, you get good. Zhong do da do. You plant beans, you get beans. You plant melons, you get melons. You are killing or encouraging violence to other creatures, it will come back on us in an equal proportion. We certainly want to be very careful what foods we eat. Somebody said, is it important to be a vegetarian? Our spiritual master gives the example of the half a hand. The man is raising hands, and he sees the front part of the hand eats food, and the back part lays eggs. So he thinks the front part is costing me money. I will cut off the front part, I'll just keep the back part. Is it possible? And it's all like that, you cannot think, oh, I'll be good, I'm a good person, and at the same time we're eating meat and anything and kinds of food. So yes, it is important. you know, it's become so common now, and, you know, it surprises me. You know, I was in Bangkok, and I went to one yoga institution, and I met a number of yoga teachers coming. They come from India, they've been studying yoga, and they come to teach yoga there. And there wasn't one of them a vegetarian.
No one would, huh?
Not one. And they were all practicing yoga. You know, this was really surprising. But this shows something in the level of the society, what we're. But these things bring reactions. There's reasons why there's wars, why disasters take place. It's not by chance. When we act in the mode of goodness, then you will get a much better way of life. The world will be much better.
Any other question? Ram.
Okay, so can you just explain me so we have these three stages, the body, mind, and soul.
Yeah.
And the kids, as we are born as a newborn, actually we are God-like state, but the 1-year kid. So what happens during the growth from a kid to an adult? And these three stages of the mind, and why does this mind, as it grows, becomes more like we need to control it with the intelligence? So what has happened when we are a kid and when we grow up, and what happens to these three stages that in later stages we need to correct? Like we need to support intelligence to control the mind to benefit the soul.
What you are saying that you are kid, huh? I try to understand your question. Kid, huh? Kid has a mind. Then when we grow, what happens? There is action and reaction. You agree or not?
Yeah.
In the action you do, there is a reaction is there. Then similarly, the kid in the beginning, he has not so much knowledge. But when he grows, at certain time, according to his action and reaction, he will get his mind gets either affected or not affected. His intelligence, also his body, and his shock.
So it's basically the circumstances under which a kid grows up affects his.
Yeah, it's the environment, in which environment he is.
As well as his karma. He's bringing also karma from his previous life. So according to that karma, we take birth in a particular situation and we have particular mentality.
He's bringing before this with him. Like Maharaj has just said, seed. If you sow seed of tomato, you get tomato. You will not get papaya and eggplant.
Yeah,
similarly.
But in the sense like, okay, someone is in a bad circumstance, but then we can also look this life as an opportunity to make himself, even like if it is a bad plant, still he can convert himself to a good plant, right? Like it's just like, it's not if it is tomato, it's tomato. But then if this tomato is bad, then he can change, convert, and take this form of life. Even though it's a result of sin, he can now try to shift to another one, which
Yeah, I agree with you. This just in the beginning, you see, like, okay, some children, they don't go beyond their study. They cannot do PhD. Why? Some are doing PhD. Why?
It's just the circumstances and the
We don't have, not circumstances. Parents are trying. Some they pay so much money, go to school, go to the... No, he has not this qualification. Why? Okay, this example you don't... Why like some child, he is born as prince, and other is born as... huh? Why? You cannot say it is by chance.
Karma.
Huh?
Karma.
Yeah, karma. And I said this action and reaction. And I give this example of seed. But of course you can change your action. It's not something stable. Why you get some children, they are born in palace. And other they are born in... what is the cause? Action This is old. It's not. See, when I give this example, the subtle body is in the middle, huh? But who is creating the problem is the subtle body. I give you an example. Like if someone develop doggish mentality. Doggish means someone can't, he just shout on him, he gets next, he develops his senses, doggish senses. And similarly, it's clear? Or more? It's simple, very clear. Yeah, this, you see? This is creating more problem than this one.
So,
The subtle body. It is like a computer, how we said, memory card, and everything is there. And it gives us some eyes in future, some nose, some teeth, some this.
so the soul, does it have birth and death? No.
So no.
No. So it is unaffected.
We said such.
Yeah. So when the soul, it's just like I'm asking question to understand. When the soul is
like
it's like birth. There's no birth and death.
there's no birth, there's air.
Yeah. And where does this karma? When we take from one form to another form and we turn both again and again, when the soul doesn't, it is not polluted or contaminated. But then where this karma is stored and it is stick to the soul, so that one kid is in palace where the other kid is in fourth place.
Where is stored karma?
Yeah. Where is karma and soul is related?
Karma is stored in the. Karma is stored. Let me think about where karma is stored. Is in the subtle body.
In the gross body also.
And it reacts in the gross body. See? So it affects in the gross body is there.
So the soul body and subtle body is always related when we take different birth forms?
I give you one example to understand. Very nice example. If now you want to become perfect person, you have to destroy these two bodies. What means destroy? Destroy does not mean that you have to clean them. You have to clean your body, your mind, your intelligence has to be completely clean. Your false ego has to become real ego. Your material mind has to become spiritual mind. Your intelligence, material has to change into. Then you will get this, and you will get rid of these two bodies. Then you become perfect.
So this super liberation form is like we remove this two body and the whole soul, and then this soul then no more takes birth in the material world. And then it gets liberated.
You want to add something, Maharaj?
Yeah, we have to get rid of the karma. Karma is not eternal.
Yeah.
The karma, it's like a bank account, You got to put some money in the bank account, otherwise you
get bankrupt.
Okay, so
bankrupt means what? That means next birth, you are in trouble. You cannot study nicely, you don't have money, no chance. Like this. It's clear, huh? Any other questions?
So like is this also the answer for why some people are homosexual?
What's your question?
Like
It's Maharaj.
yeah, there are people, there are kids those who go they have a lot of money, but even when they are homosexual, so why people go to that direction?
It's past.
Because it is something in the church.
You want Maharaj to what I go on?
Why people are homosexual? Even if they're born in a good family, but why they go in that direction?
Well, this is a degradation of the consciousness. They become so involved with sense gratification. They look for sense gratification in the most perverted forms. When you associate with people with the mode of ignorance, then you cultivate the mode of ignorance. It comes by association with the modes of nature. If you associate in common good, your activities and everything are in common good, then we cultivate these kind of qualities.
Yeah, I can add something. You see, there is the law of nature at work. If you misuse something, you get reaction. Even senses or sexuality, if you misuse it, you get reaction later. You become impotent. And this is happening in this case of homosexuality. You become impotent. Abnormal. Why? You misuse it before. Anything you misuse. Okay, if you eat too much, what happens? Huh? Your stomach gets finished. You just sit. If you take too much drugs, you have to balance. Everything is balanced. Sexuality has to be balanced. Everything. If you misuse, reaction is there. Clear? Clear. Next you, what is question?
The question is that about the food.
Food.
That the garlic and the onions, they have actually some medicinal values, but they comes under tamasic.
So garlic and onions.
They comes under tamasic
Food.
So
Why?
why?
Yeah. Okay, I give you example. You eat now one sabji with onion, only onion. You eat. Then what happened to your body? You smell bad, huh? Yes or no? Yeah. Is it tamasic or is it? Would you like to smell bad or to smell good? See, you cannot use it. Never. Yeah, I can use I smell this, I get disturbed. It smells bad. This, if I smell good. No onion, no garlic, no this. Only we eat prasad. That is given us by Krishna. The rules. Krishna is very intelligent. Okay, you eat garlic now. Would you speak with someone?
But if we add it to the food,
Huh?
if we add it to the food a little amount, then what is the harm?
Why it is, we can take the big quantity to understand small. Yes? Huh? You agree or no? To understand the effect of something, we can take some big example. Then it comes small. The big example, if you eat garlic, only garlic, what happened?
You cannot eat
No.
any-
Some people they eat onion. We cannot, but I'm giving you example.
I mean, I can just add out, like, if you want to know the property of chili powder.
Yeah.
So you want to say if it's good or bad, how do you decide?
How do you
Like
decide?
you take chili powder and eat,
Very good
and
example.
then you decide if it's good or
Very
bad.
nice.
Something like this.
If you want to see, the chili powder is too hot, you take smaller. Now you can say, I am taking it there. What impurities are there, no? This is Buddhists are not eating.
We see in Taiwan that the Buddhists here also don't eat onion.
Yeah.
Because they know that they're rajasic, they're aphrodisiacs, they increase the lust and passion in the body. We're already lusty and passion, and you're adding more to it, we're increasing.
Ram, is it okay? Any other question? What about you?
Even airline pilots nowadays, they don't let me eat garlic before a flight because it influences their judgment.
Yeah, it's you smell, you have to speak, I don't know. To brush. Any other questions? Any question? Are you satisfied? Now you take some decision, huh? Now get out from here, ta and ta. You are here in Taiwan, nice place. You have a lot of opportunities. Take advantage of this opportunity. Temple is there. Come to the temple. You just come. It's very easy. You just you hear me well. We have prasadam for you. We have mantras, and we want to benefit you. Take advantage. Okay, now we have one exercise. What is the next program? Under the chair.
And then the seminar
Oh yeah, we have some, yeah. We have, this is only beginning, you know, this is, we have one, if you want, we have one seminar called Discover Yourself. It's 3 days, huh? Discover Yourself. Those who want to attend, you can register. It is free or they have to pay something. For Indian it's free. For Taiwanese we ask money because Taiwanese, they want to pay. they will not come without paying. We ask someone. But for Indian it's free. Those who want, where are the so then this seminar, Discover Yourself. Who are you? We will get deeper in this from the different things. Then who can attend? Raise your hand, those who want to attend. It's only 3 days. Which day is it?
It's May 31st, June 1st, and June 8th.
May, June 1st.
10 to 12.
Here. You just write your name.
We can change the timings if it's not suitable for everyone.
So is it in the
It's an out.
how?
How? Okay, we take an example. You have 3 buckets there. 3. One bucket is very dirty, smelling very bad. Another bucket, smelling very good. Another bucket is neutral. And you put your hand in the first bucket, what happens?
3 is best.
Your hand will smell bad, no? Similarly, if you come in contact with it, we give the example of air. You were not there, huh? It just came, yeah, this problem just came and we give air. If you have air, if air is coming in contact with good smell, what happens? If it's coming with bad, it's bad. But the air is not affected. Similarly, the soul is not affected. But your body gets affected. Your subtle body, these 2 words, subtle body. Whatever contacts you come with, you get affected. Okay? It's like air. Air is the soul. And bad smell, good smell is these 2 bodies. Subtle and then anything you come, it may be eating, maybe watching, it may be hearing, it maybe you get affected. And if you keep doing this, what happens? In your mind, you will get a lot of impressions, vasanas. And these vasanas, they have to come out, yes, huh? And it stays just there. Huh? Next, we have
3 lucky.
we have 3 lucky boys here.
Oh, good.
3 lucky persons. Okay. 3. It's just your chair. Look under here. Then those who find something, they will get